Hello and welcome to Werewolf the Apocalypse, Episode 1, A Time to Rage. Let's meet our werewolves. Now, I'm going to go in the order that you all are on my screen here, which might be different than you are on Twitch. We will start down with, first of all, I love this look so much, Justice.
What's up, guys? I'm Spencer. I'm here. I'm the brains of this operation, obviously. I'm a glasswalker, Ragabosh, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun this week. I'm looking forward to it.
Mason.
Yeah, hey everybody. I am playing Jax. I'm a Metis Arun Silverfang, which I did get right first time. I also, in most forms, he's kind of got some level of like black fur with a silver patch kind of on the chest. And what you notice is he's got a very large kind of Neanderthalic like ridge, belying the small brain he's got inside.
He will brain good.
He will brain real good.
Rejects. May.
Hi there, I am Melee Damage. I am currently pulling up my character sheet to remember what I'm playing. I am playing Tempest Sky, who is a stargazer who has been hanging out with a lot of children of Gaia. Normally, she looks like this. And when she is in wolf form, her hair is she's kind of got like that reddish tint to her, and little black patches of fur around her eyes that make up the same tattoo pattern that she has. She is a Homid as well, so she was born human, and then found out later that she was a wolf.
Started from the bottom. Now we rar.
Yes.
Yeah. Diana.
Hi, I am Diana. I am playing Selena Marino, who is a Hamid Arun Silverfang. So she has beautiful, beautiful silver hair in every form, because it's pure, it's lustrous, just like it should be. But you probably already know who I am, so I'll just leave that as it is.
It's true. I mean, who doesn't, right? And last but certainly not least, Emily.
Hi, I am Emily. I am playing Zuffy. I'm a Lupus Surge in the Black Fury clan. I'm hoping that I pronounced all of that correctly. And I am a very cream and tawny colored fur at all times, with little tiny flowers like dandelions kind of tied into the fur around my facial region. My snout, if you will.
Your muzzle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
As you all know me, a lot of times especially when we're starting something new, I like to just jump right into it with a bunch of insanity. But since this is many of our players here's first time playing Werewolf, and it might be your first time ever even experiencing Werewolf, I did just kind of want to explain a couple things to you in advance. So Werewolf is a part of the world of darkness, which means this is set in the same world as Vampire the Masquerade. Our story in particular will be in continuity with Anarchs of New York, and by extension, Long Beach by night, Denver by night, and all the events of both my Patreon server in games and May's Patreon server in games. So this is our next step into the wider world of darkness here from the position of the werewolves. Also, those words that we were throwing around about their tribes and what they are, all of those things will come to make a little more sense as we keep moving forward. And as you may or may not know, yes, I am working on the new edition of Werewolf. This is not a W5 stream. These are the homebrew rules that we use for my Patreon server, largely created by Nick, aka Bearded Devil. Thank you, Nick. But it has been a cooperative effort by a lot of people. So we are homebrewing things to make it make more sense in the context of Vampire. For those of you that have played Werewolf 20th edition, just like Vampire 20th edition, it was very high power. For Vampire V5, things got toned down. So if we tried to port the werewolves over directly, they already would be even more overmatched for the kindred than they already were. So we're trying to level things out a bit. These are homebrew rules. Please do not construe anything I say or do here as indicative of what you will find in W5. It is not.
There won't even be werewolves in it. It's just
There might not
totally
be. Yeah. Hashtag plot twist. Werewolf has no werewolves. You know, it's like the next version of Wraith, and all the werewolves are dead. Yeah. With that being said, let's just go ahead and dive into it here. You five, you young, promising individuals, represent Gaia's last and best hope against the dying of the light in the overall destruction brought upon by the worm, by the weaver, and by mankind's unchecked expansion. What werewolves are is Gaia's immune system. What you were born to do was to protect the earth, protect Gaia, and protect all living things against the forces of corruption that would seek to destroy them. You and your species have been at war since time immemorial, and quite frankly, you're losing. Some people say you've already lost. It's hopeless. Climate change is spiraling out of control. Fossil fuels, fracking, bullshit explosions taking place where people stacked up tons of explosives and left them unattended for years at a time. Oil spills, anomalous radiation in Scandinavia that Russia swears they had nothing to do with, all while fat cat politicians sit back and just get richer and richer while children in Michigan are still going without drinking water. Oil pipelines across sacred lands pollute Gaia's beauty and majesty that was meant to last for all time, and yet it is losing inch by inch by inch. Every night grows darker, every winter grows colder. It may well be too late. And yet, you are here, you are born now. Gaia sent you here now to bear your fangs and your claws, to use your wits and your mind and everything at your disposal to fight back, to rage, and to fight until the absolute last second, to save our mother, to save this world, and to eradicate anyone that stands in your way. Now, on a sunny afternoon in New York, it is August 7th. The sun is high in the sky. It is warm. Honestly, it's hot, a little muggy, to tell you the truth. You make your way down the crowded streets of New York. In many ways, this city is everything that the triad of the worm and the weaver and the wild represent, all mixed into one. The wild represents all living things, growth, expansion, life, which of course, if left unchecked, can still provide perils of its own, of course, and it should be balanced out, which is where the weaver comes into things. The weaver is organization, structure, order, society. Many of you, especially those of you that are lupus, that were born out in the wild places, the ever shrinking and diminishing wild places, might reject the weaver in the grid system, Dewey Decimal, card catalog, organizational structure it tries to impose upon reality. But some of you, like the far-sighted glasswalkers, have come to realize that there's nothing wrong with order. There's nothing wrong with structure. You just have to be able to guide it the way that you want to guide it. And then there is the worm. The worm is often miscategorized as evil, but the worm is not evil. The worm is just corruption, decay, everything that is not growth and expansion, everything that is not reason and order, everything else is the worm. If the worm were eradicated completely, honestly, that would not necessarily be good for reality. Everything that is born must die. It is the natural order. Everything cannot be allowed to go unchecked. Rivers shouldn't overflow their banks. Deserts shouldn't expand out so far no one can live there. Some boundaries are good in what Gaia intends. Ideally, these three forces are meant to live in balance, and right now they do not. The Weaver has made untold advancements in modern age, being representative of arguably achievements, arguably abominations, like New York, its perfect grid system, its towering skyscrapers that reach up to the sky and blot out the sun. And yet, in its alleyways, under its streets, in its back offices, the worm works its way into the hearts of humans, twisting and corrupting them into greed and avarice and malice. The blood-sucking leeches, children of the worm, although they don't realize it, or at least they deny it, have a stranglehold on this city and all the wealth and influence that flows through their supernatural back channels. And even some of your very own Garu kindred, the Black Spiral Dancers, who, corrupted and twisted by madness, willingly gave themselves over to the worm to dance the Black Spiral and become the very things that they once fought so hard to destroy. Your enemies surround you on all sides. Your allies are few, but it is not hopeless. Even in the midst of this towering Babylonian edifice of New York City, there is still beauty. There is still a place of power in Central Park, at the Cairn of the Green in Central Park. More accurately, the Sept of the Green in Central Park. This sacred land has stood here since time immemorial. It has been recognized as a Garu stronghold since the 1700s. It was nearly lost and reestablished in the 1800s. And even now, this sweeping patch of beauty stretches for a few precious acres in the midst of Central Park. Inside, what most don't know, what most are forbidden to know, is a unique place of power that unwitting kinfolk have worked to preserve over the centuries and make sure nothing was built on this sacred land. And you five have been called here for a meeting. Apparently, there is information that needs to be disseminated, and you have made your way across the city into Central Park to cross over into the Umbra for your gathering. Tempest, how do you arrive at Central Park?
Being fairly new to the city, I take the subway. I like it down there, even though it's full of people. Everyone tends to leave each other alone and not really talk to each other. So I kind of like to meditate amongst the hustle and bustle. The overstimulation kind of helps me channel my mind and center and focus. And nothing like a good challenge.
As you are making your way in on the subway, and this is the point where I must say, like I did in Anarchs of New York, although I know Los Angeles like the back of my hand, I do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of New York. So anything that I say of a place being near a place or too far away, that is all completely on me. But as you are making your way on the train, making your way downtown, just sitting there, sort of trying to collect yourself as your senses, even in your human form, are still bombarded by cologne, coffee, takeout pizza, 2-day-old urine, and the thumping of someone still holding an old-time ghetto blaster beatbox up to his ear, thumping music out through the train. You hear somebody say, "Hey, hey, baby. Hey, baby. You with the tattoos. Hey, baby."
Can I help you?
I mean, I sure hope so. How you doing? Like, I mean, you look all dope here. You look like a goth crime fighter or something. Ain't you hot in here? It's like 90 degrees outside.
Right, good day. And I will turn around and go to try and walk away.
He doesn't. He's like, oh, okay. I mean, it's like that. Okay, no problem. Hey, wait. I think you dropped something though.
I'll turn around and look.
When you turn around, there is what you think at first is like a child's race car, like a little Hot Wheels or something, but it
Mm.
looks like it is a small chrome cockroach.
Huh. Yeah, I've been trying to hold on to that. I'll just take that back.
When he does reach over and pick it up and he goes, ooh, and he puts it in your hand. And when he does, you feel an odd, a very faint zap, like when you touch your tongue to a battery. It's not painful, but it's like there's something significant about this.
Can I use sense the worm on it?
You absolutely can. Now, again, this is the point where I say to all of our dear viewers, we have homebrewed even our gifts. So we oftentimes you will find when we are trying to use our things, take the time to look them up. Um,
Yes, I feel like you will know better how sense the worm works than I do.
I will. The way it works is, let me get to it myself. What it is going to do, because we're going to roll for it here momentarily, it is essentially like radar where you're like in the area trying to sense the worm. So I just need to assemble the dice pool. Perfect. Okay. It is not going to cost you a rage check. You are going to roll your wits and occult.
All right. It's a fairly good roll for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whopping 7 die. I'm very happy right now.
Hey.
Mm, 2, 3. That's 4 successes.
You do not sense any worm coming off of this small thing. In fact, you actually sense kind of the opposite. There's just sort of an ambient worm tainty mung that kind of hangs in the air of the subway that you're just used to.
Yeah.
At this point, there is a woman sitting further down at the other end of the subway that you notice is sort of like rocking and just kind of like talking to no one in particular, who also sort of like piques your awareness. But it's this thing almost repels that. It is almost like the area is sanitized of the taint of the worm.
Have I ever seen anything like this thing before? I guess would that be like another what's an occult roll to see if I like
Uh,
recognize anything about it?
Normally, I would get you to roll that. However, the Stargazers are the meditative, introspective tribe of the Garu. They are the most spiritually oriented of all of them. Although, of course, every tribe has their priestly caste. The Stargazers are the most contemplative. You are aware of the fact that Cockroach is a totem. He is a spirit of tremendous power. He is usually the patron of the glass walkers. You also know Cockroach New York is a stronghold for him because it's New York. So he is a powerful totem spirit. Although you yourself have not connected with him directly, at least not before now.
I will hold it in my hand and look closely at it and just say, "Thank you for the blessing," and I'll kind of walk away and hold it close.
Mm-hmm. Do you approach the strange woman that is talking to herself, or do you just sort of take the rest of your ride in peace?
I don't approach her directly, but I kind of like move between the posts and kind of try and stay behind her in between like where the maps are and the little time screens and just kind of keep an eye. Like I stalk her a little bit, but don't directly approach.
Perfect. Would any of the rest of you have taken the subway to get to Central Park? I don't want to cramp your style if you had something else in mind.
I would have.
I thought you might have. Spencer, as you are there in the subway car, and you very much hear the ghetto blaster nonsense, the guy like, hey, baby, oh, you dropped this, and like that kind of whole exchange. What would Spencer be doing on the train ride over?
Well, he's definitely on his phone, and never far away. Always on the phone. That's how I'm connected to everything. I'm always connected. But keeping an eye out as he's definitely doing various other things on the phone, and watching the interaction to make sure it doesn't kind of fall into his bubble. And as long as it stays outside his bubble, he's just gonna he'll just stay on his technology device for the time being, but definitely paying attention to what's going on around him.
Give me your wits and awareness.
Do we do like a rouse check when we wake
You
up in the day,
do.
or is that?
Yes. All of you, I've still got my blood die here, of course, but we're gonna see just what your rage wakes up for the day. If you're starting out at 1 or 2. Also, I should explain my pretty pink fingernails. They're or they're red actually. We found in quarantine, my girls like painting my nails, and it makes them happy. So here we are. This is where we live now. Yeah, just keep track of whether or not you're starting at rage 1 or 2. Also, for those of you that are familiar with vampire, this for what we're doing here, the rage is going to work just like hunger, except in vampire it is fairly easy to reduce your hunger. You just go eat. It is actually more difficult for werewolves to reduce their rage, but we'll deal once you kind of get worked up. Just like being mad in real life, it might take some time and effort for you to kind of come back down again.
I rolled a 5 on my rage check. Is that good?
That is a failure. 1 to 5 is a fail. 6 to 10 is a success. So you're starting with a rage of 2.
Sounds about right.
For you, Spencer, as a glass walker, oftentimes 3, perfect. Oftentimes the other tribes look down on you. As techno wolves, as being more concerned with sitting there and fumbling with your weaver foolishness hidden in some dark room rather than actually going out there and getting your hands dirty and winning the war. But you can do more damage to the worm and its enemies with your laptop than 10 rampaging red talons could do on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. It's just they got to get with the times, man. They got to get with the times.
Oh yeah, I understand that. They don't see what I got. They don't see me. They don't see me.
But as you were typing away on your phone, you with 3, you don't catch that she was handed this cockroach talon over there. But what you do notice is the woman that is sort of rocking back and forth talking to herself, which in and of itself is not necessarily that unusual in New York. But you do kind of note slightly what she's saying. She's like, yeah, they won't know, and then I'm gonna go in there, and then it'll be like, boom, and then it'll be nothing, but it'll just be like a crater, and then maybe there's gonna be like radiation everywhere, and they're all gonna get sick. They're gonna get sick. They're all gonna get sick. And it's sort of rocking back and forth. And I will say, with your 3, you've noticed that this beautiful tattooed woman that was getting sweated by the guy with the boombox is just sort of moved into position at the train. In your heart, Spencer, you're still a predator. You're still aware of your environment. So you clock that also while she's kind of keeping an eye on this same strange woman.
And how sorry, Sky. I'm sorry, May.
Tempest Sky.
Tempest Sky. How much out there is Tempest Sky as far as if I saw your face and I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna find out everything there is to know about you right now, right here.
Like, does she have a social media footprint?
Probably not. She knows it exists. She's not against it. She doesn't really bother with it. It's not like her thing. So she might like have a Twitter or a Facebook, but like the last post was like 8 months ago or something, and it's like some random, retweet of like a recipe or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and snap a picture of both Tempest Sky and the rocking woman and see if I can run a little facial recognition through there and see what I can find out about them.
Give me your intelligence plus technology. This is something you're good at.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zuffy. How is Zuffy getting to Central Park?
So I was originally in Washington Square Park, and I'm making the long walk up Fifth Avenue, all the way uptown, up to basically where the plaza is, to enter Central Park from the south. It's a long walk, but it's definitely that kind of thing where, as the streets are filled with tourists all around, Zuffy is just walking like looking like a tourist of people, like just as she walks past people, just like, oh, I've never seen it worn like that before. Oh, oh, that's where you're choosing to put your cell phone. Interesting. Oh, that's a weird way to cross the street in front of a car. Cool. Like just like literally observing everything with pure wonder as she walks uptown.
You do know where you're headed ultimately is the Great Lawn area, right smack in the middle of Central Park is ultimately where you're headed. As you are pulling up, correct me if I'm wrong, but Selena seems like a limo type girl. You tell me if that's true.
Well, a limo would be a little too inconspicuous, and people might know that it's me, and I don't really want that. But Jax and I took a town card that dropped us off a couple of blocks away, so that we wouldn't be noticed.
What does we got a little description of Selena? What does Jax look like?
Yeah, I mean, as a human dude, not too different from this. His hair is kind of dark jet black. Otherwise, again, he still has that kind of large cranium going on up there. And I think he pretty much trusts Selena fairly implicitly. And while she's a little more paranoid, he's kind of more interested in what's going on in the city. I think he likes technology and things with colors, like cartoons and video games, even though he ends up breaking things when he touches them. But yeah, overall, he's just a kind of normal looking dude, other than the alarmingly large cranium.
Yes, there are a number of flocks of pigeons to be disrupted and joyfully enjoy as you're making your way down the street. Zuffy, give me your wits and awareness.
You got it. Got it. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the delay.
We're in uncharted territory.
2 successes.
Do either Selena or Jax have the looks merit by chance?
I do.
Nope.
That hot silvered hair girl's a Garu. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're like humanity. That one. you clock it at 100 paces. You're like, and her. And by extension, probably him, but definitely her.
Cool. How where am I in relation to where they are?
I would say
Are
you would
we all on the Great Lawn at this point? Or
I would say that you're still kind of on the sidewalk approaching the entrance to the
okay.
park. You're kind of coming north. They're kind of making their way from headed east to west, but
Um,
your paths will intersect.
and y'all are out of the town car at this point?
Yeah, on foot because they got dropped. They got dropped
Okay.
off a couple of blocks away and are making their way over. Yep.
I run up and tackle the gorgeous werewolf, Selena.
So two things, Selena. First, give me your wits and awareness to see if you if you clock that she's closing in on you.
Cool.
Actually, you can give it to me too, Jax, because you don't necessarily know that she's like friendly. So
I'm guessing, because I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm guessing that if I did not succeed on my rage check, I am at 2.
yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Oh, all right. Well, I'm glad I got that one success then.
And me too.
Well, no idea. So second, now you can give me either your strength and brawl or your dex and athletics, and you roll it for me too, Zuffy, because she has no idea when you're like, bah, let me love you.
Am I allowed to respond with a specific action, or would that take
Of course.
too long?
Well, it depends on what the action is.
Well, I would like to utilize my falling touch just the instant that she starts to wrap her arms around me.
You didn't see her coming. You're like completely blindsided, like, bah.
And
Okay,
4
all right.
successes.
One.
One for me. Yeah.
I would say you successfully grab her, Zuffy, but you very quickly are able to kind of pull away, shrug her off. Selena.
What are you doing?
Hi. We're here
Who are you?
for the same reason. I'm Zuffy. Sorry. And I stick my hand out in a very formal, stiff handshake stance.
How do you know? I'm sorry, I don't know you, and I'll kind of start to pull Jax by the arm
No,
just
that's
away.
okay. That's okay. I can smell you. It's fine.
Selena,
big
there
for-
are a lot of crazy people here in New York. I think we should just maybe keep our distance.
I growl at you.
Can I tell that she is Garu?
So here's the thing. Again, in Vampire, where they were like, there's not necessarily any way to know, you still have your senses. And when she's saying, I'm like you, and she growls, you're like, I mean, probably. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
You may be like me, but we don't know you, so we're just gonna nice to meet you, and I'm gonna continue to pull Jax sort of away towards where we're supposed to go.
Okay. And as if they lead in front, I literally trail behind every couple steps, just behind them.
I'll keep tossing looks over my shoulder to check and see if she's still there.
Meanwhile, back in the subway, what did you get on your check for facial recognition?
Remind me again what it is when you get a critical success on a blood die.
You need 2 10s.
Okay.
Did you get 2?
I did not. I only got 1 10, so a total of 7 successes.
Tempest. Is Tempest the sort of activist that maybe got caught on camera sabotaging a pipeline, or possibly setting a police car on fire, or what kind of person is she that he might have found something? Because with 7 successes, he found it all.
100,000%.
Yeah, you definitely have some picture of this woman, Spencer, kind of on the front line, surprisingly shrugging off some riot cops, in a still of some people tipping over a police car. And there's 4 of them, but when you zoom in, there's really only her hands under the side of it type thing. And you get all that. This other woman, as you run her through there, is a ghost. It is like this human being has not existed before now. And with the number of traffic cameras and things in New York, surveillance state, you know better than most, Spencer, it should be nearly impossible to not have a picture of her somewhere.
That's going to trigger every alarm bell in my head, because if I can't find you, something's wrong. I should definitely be able to find you, especially in my. So I'm going to attempt to get close to Tempest, casually,
Mhm.
and then kind of like awkwardly try and get her attention, but like low key, but it's awkward as he does it. It's like, psst, hey, hey, psst, hey,
Tempest, you were being vigilant, so you definitely clock this. He's not as subtle as he thinks he is.
Are you having a stroke? What's that weird twitching thing you're doing?
No, don't be silly. Shh, keep it down. Keep it down. Keep it down. Come here.
And I'll run over.
I know who you are. I'm me. Same. We're the same. And I'll pull up the picture of her on the thing and I'll show her. I'll be, I see that. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not
I know.
proud of that. That's peace was not an option anymore at that point.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I wouldn't judge. I'm just saying, I know you. I can see we're the same. We're the, keep it up. But that person there, I can't find her. That's weird. If I can't find her, that's weird. So she's probably dangerous.
She's I think she's a bit tainted too.
No, it's more than that. Trust me. Just listen. I'm saying the things. Look, she is. If I can't find her, trust me. When I say I can't find her, it means she can't be found. That's not normal. I found you. I know all about you. But I can't find her. This is bad. This isn't good.
Are you computers? Are you a glass walker?
Shh, keep that down. Are you crazy? What are you doing? Yes. Shh, keep it down.
So what do you suggest we do? It's not exactly like we can take her out right here.
I don't know. That's not my job. I identify the threat. Somebody else takes care of the threat. Did you hear what she's saying? She's talking about radiation. Radiation. That's bad. That's as far away from gas as we can get. That's look, listen.
DM, would my smell of man ability work on humans? They are technically animals.
Let me see. Let me read it real quick.
I can read it to you. I have it.
Yeah, please.
Smell of man is to creatures of the wild, man's scent is death. To creatures of the city, it is authority, comfort, easy meals. The gift is taught by the ancestors. Spirit enhances the werewolf's human scent, infusing it with spiritual power. Non-spiritual wild animals will be inclined to flee from the werewolf rather than attack if possible. So I don't know if I already have to be in an attack or in battle for that to work, but it should make them go away, hopefully. If they're non-magical.
Give me your wits plus occult.
That's my lucky roll today, apparently.
Hey. Also, thank you all for joining us. I said that outright, but thank you.
4, 5, 6, 7. That is 8 with a crit. Normal crit.
8 with a crit, one of two things is going to happen. Either it will repel her or it will absolutely be blood in the water. Pending what kind of creature she is, if you do it, she might be like, rah, that's more reason to attack, not less.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to repel her because she would be
Mhm.
supernatural. I was trying to repel the people away out of the subway tunnels so that if we had to throw hands, there wasn't like mass amounts of humans around.
Oh no, that would not repel people. No.
Gotcha.
Yeah. In fact, if anything, to a creature of the city like this, it's authority, comfort, and easy meals. If anything, you just like you smell dudishness.
Gotcha. Yeah, then I'm at a loss at what to do. She looks back at you and goes, I'm not sure. If you have a plan, then
I will say just for the record, you both are aware of the fact that if you shift into your Krenos form, your half human, half wolf form, the people will panic and flee. But then you're kind of stuck in that form in the subway, and there will be a lot of collateral as you are trying to make an escape. Yeah. So it is while werewolves do not have the same restrictions as vampires in the maintaining of the masquerade. You do still have something called the veil that is just generally ideal not to do your thing out in public. When you shift, werewolves trigger something in humans called the delirium. It is an instinctive fear that will cause them to run and try and get away from you, and afterwards will cause them to rationalize what they've seen. When they run away, they won't say like, "Oh shit, I saw a werewolf." They'll be like, "Somehow there was a bear on the subway. That's weird." But still, you're supposed to try and be cool about it to the best of your ability. Yes.
do you think we should go talk to her?
I don't know. I do not think we should go talk to her. Maybe you should go talk to her. I don't think we should factor into this at all. This is. Look, I just told you about it. Maybe this is something that we file away and we just hold on to. But look, I got a picture of her. I don't know that there's anything else we can do right now. But just keep it calm. Keep calm. Keep calm.
You stay here and watch my back. I'm just gonna ask her for the time.
Watch your back.
And I'll head over to Creepy Lady.
I'm gonna videotape this interaction.
Okay. Yeah, no, they don't see it coming. They never see it coming. They're not paying attention, and then you know, boom, boom. The Geiger counter, like.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you have the time?
No, I don't have any time.
Do you know what day it is by any chance?
I mean, it's today, the same day that it was yesterday. Today. So this is the only day that it ever is today. But it might be the last day. You never know. Might be the last day.
Are you from here?
I mean, everybody's from somewhere. I wasn't born on the subway. I wasn't born on the subway, if that's what you mean. And as you are looking at her closer, her skin is very gaunt and taut. She looks very pale with like black spiderwebbed veins that kind of go across her face, which at first you might have thought was just filth, but you realize it is not. It's under the skin. If this were nighttime, you might have suspected her of being one of the leeches, honestly, but it's broad daylight. And I will also say since the worm, as you've gotten closer to her, she's definitely tainted. She's probably about twice as strong as you would get off of one of the leeches. Yeah, something supernaturally hostile is definitely been done to her or represented by her.
You look like you need help or at least a sandwich. Do you want to follow me?
Just like sandwich. I don't. She kind of scratches her behind her ear, and you see what looks like a large worm of some sort. Just kind of falls to the ground, almost like a large, like brown mealworm. And she's like, I don't know about this. She's like, wait. And she stands up and she says, She looks right at you and she goes, "You smell like dog. You smell like dog. You smell like dog. You smell like dog. You smell like dog." And when she stands up, she's actually much taller than you thought she was. She's about 6 foot, but again, incredibly gaunt. She's wearing a long dress that goes all the way down to the floor, but is just kind of like worn and tattered. And now, when you are staring at her, you, Spencer, can see that under her seat in the train is like a big duffel bag, like one of those bags like Mary Poppins carried. Those May, you actually have one. What's the name of that thing?
Carpet
Your
bag?
big bag.
The carpet bag?
The duffel bag?
Like a carpet bag. Yeah,
A
yeah.
co-
You know, yeah, yeah. Yeah, like a big carpet bag, just kind of tucked under there.
With digital zoom on the phone, can I get any? If I zoom in, can I see what's in it, or is it sealed
You
up?
cannot. It is definitely closed up. And she says, "I don't want any doggy treats. No doggy treats. No doggy treats. No doggy treats."
Oh no. I have a dog place that I work with too. I volunteer people who look like they just need food. So I mean, I do have dog treats, but I'm not going to give them to you. Those are for the dogs. Do you need food?
Give me either charisma and persuasion or manipulation and subterfuge, whichever is better for you.
Definitely charisma and persuasion. That is another crit. 4, 5. That's 6 with a crit.
She looks at you and she goes, "Okay, can get a sandwich. We have one last stop to make today, but yes, it'd be fine if we don't go on a empty stomach. Yes, sure." And she reaches under and like pulls the bag out, and you hear the bing. Next stop, all off for Central Park. Is she's kind of like pulls the bag up to her chest.
Uh, I tell her as soon as we get to Central Park, I'll pull my bag open and I'll pull some sandwiches out when we get to the platform. I don't want the jostling. You know, you'll spill coffee. I don't want you to get burned or anything.
Yes, and the rats, they come. The rats might come and try and take it from us. You know, like that rat that stole that slice of pizza. Everybody thought it was so funny, not for the person that dropped the pizza. That person was very hungry, and who got the pizza was the rat.
Exactly, but you know what? Their favorite color is blue, and the sandwiches are purple, so you'll be fine.
She takes a step closer to you and like leans in and gets right in your face, and she's like, "You know their favorite color is blue." Purple sandwiches are good. Come, tech dog. You tech dog. Digital leash. Come. And when the door opens, she does step off the subway. And people kind of move, but she's tall. You can still kind of easily see her, and she like very much like keeps talking to herself as she's walking.
I'm going to kind of like nod to my new glasswalker friend, and I'm going to walk her over on the platform to where they usually have like 1 or 2 off on the side little restrooms, public restrooms that nobody should ever use for absolutely any reason because they're absolutely terrible. And I'm going to lure her over into one of the bathrooms.
She walks over. She goes, "Bathroom sandwiches. That's odd. I've done worse in a bathroom. There's one thing I don't do is use the bathroom in the bathroom. That's just terrible. That's what they want you to do. That is a trick. That is why they must be
I'm gonna
stopped. They
lock
must
the
be
door
destroyed."
behind us, and as she's talking, if she spins around for a quick second, I'm just gonna elbow check her and knock her unconscious.
Spencer,
Not trying to kill her, just trying to knock her out so I can go through her stuff.
Spencer, do you enter the bathroom?
Well, no. No, I'm not going in. I'm not gonna go in an out. That's tight space. There's no. I'm not going in. I'm not going in there.
Give me your strength in brawl there, Sky. Tempest Sky, sorry. I appreciate that it's like cool, low grade violence. Boop. Meanwhile, in Central Park, as you guys are making your way through, yes, 4, cool. Hold on to that. We're gonna come back to it in just a second. As you all are making your way through, you realize this woman is following you. Every step you take, she does linger a few steps behind, and then
Jax, you know how we always talk about the people who are going to find us and who are looking for us all the time and who are seeking us out, and how we always have to be ready for them.
I mean, you're the one always talking about it, but yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's important. I think she's still here. I think we've got to.
I want to note this whole time I've just been kind of looking back at her very obviously over my shoulder. You mean the person that we're pretending isn't there?
Yeah, could you cut your mouth or like close your mouth and stop staring? This is God. I think we should split up. That way she won't know we're together, and we'll be able to just reconnect back at the location that we're supposed to go to. I don't think we should.
I mean, I get that you don't trust her, but why would we split her in half this early?
Not us splitting her in half, dear. You're gonna run that direction, and I'm gonna run that direction, and you're gonna do a whole bunch of loop-de-loops, and then we're gonna meet at the spot we talked about. Remember the spot we talked about?
Let me think about this. Do I remember? Sure, I'll say that I do. Oh yeah.
You don't seem too confident, but okay, we've talked too long. I'm gonna count to 5, and then you're gonna run. Okay? Which way are you running? Close enough. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I just bolt in the other direction from where he pointed, like speed walking style.
mm-hmm.
I kind of watch her run off for a second. I'm gonna turn around. Hey, what's your name?
I have barely acknowledged him before I have run off after Selena.
Oh yeah, and then I'm gonna turn into my what's my big wolf form called?
The dire wolf.
That's the fastest way for in my opinion to get through the street. So I'm gonna run towards some alleyway and just kind of take off.
Okay. Do you enter Central Park or do you not enter Central Park?
I mean, I said if she went left, I went right. So if she's kind of circling Central Park one way, I'm just gonna go the other.
You know, we'll let fate decide. Yes, okay. You do manage to get inside of Central Park and like head in the opposite direction as this giant wolf. As you go running away, Selena, you know, fast walking away, and you very much hear this woman still behind you, like fast walking with a smile on her face. You hear screams as a 500-pound wolf goes barreling towards a playground, and people scatter in all directions. Uh, Meanwhile, back down in the bathroom, that was 4 successes you got. She walks in, she's like, oh, bathroom sandwiches, I've eaten in a bathroom, there's lots of things I wouldn't do, and you boom, and you know you sting her, and you hear a loud crack, but she does not fall, Tempest. And she turns and looks at you and goes, that's rude. And
it was an accident. Sorry, the top of the bag was jammed. I didn't expect that.
Spencer, a second later, you can give me, she lunges forward and grabs you, Tempest. You can give me your strength and brawl again.
It's another crit. My dice are hot today.
Mm-hmm.
6 with a crit.
She got 7. As Spencer, as you're sort of pacing, that you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Why am I even here? Like, it's Central Park is right over there. You could go. You see Tempest boom, come flying through the door, slide out into the middle of the hallway. With only one net success, you're not hurt by this, Tempest, but she very much yeeted you before you could stop her. And you see this bony woman comes walking out, holding the bag by one hand, and she says, "Not here, not here, not here. You're gonna hurt the baby. Can't hurt the baby. Baby can't go boom right here. I mean, the baby could, but this isn't where it's supposed to go. It's supposed to go boom somewhere else." And she looks at you and she goes, "Computer Wolf, are you going to try and stop me too with the digital leash? I don't think you can digital leash me. I don't even have a cell phone. There's nothing you could do to stop me, Computer Wolf." And then she kind of like adjusts her jaw for a second and goes, and a moth this big comes out of her mouth and flutters past your face, Spencer. Tempest, again, you sort of just slide and kind of hit the far wall. And you notice when you do this, the people kind of in the hallway stop and turn around. But again, they're New Yorkers. It's going to take a little bit more than somebody getting thrown through a door to completely disrupt their day. So you kind of look, but then sort of keep walking. Mm-hmm.
How far am I away from Justice's character? What's his name again? Sorry.
Spencer.
Spencer. First episode name funds.
I get it, man.
How far am I from Spencer when she knocks me back?
We'll call it 10 feet. She sort of throws you across the hallway and is standing there next to him, and you see him filming her. Yeah.
I just kind of like slide back. I don't do it gracefully. And as I'm like laying there on the ground, I just kind of look up above over at Spencer, and I'm like, so that was an interesting meeting. And I'm gonna get up and kind of walk a little closer to her and go, she keeps talking about something going boom. I think she's got a bomb in the bag.
Let me just say one thing, Tempest. All of that happens, but as you kind of slide against the wall, and when you look up at Spencer, you notice on the wall over you is a row of cockroaches just watching. You know, one, they don't come out in the light, and two, in all the commotion, they should have scattered, but they don't. They're just sitting there.
I look up at them, and B-Dave, you're going to have to explain to me how this works. How do werewolves talk to their ancestor spirits? How do they commune with them? Because I don't have an ability that does it. Is that the only way I can do it?
Cockroach is not your totem, so I mean, you could try and talk to him like any god. The same way anyone prays. You don't have any special access to him as a patron totem, but you're smart enough to know that like something's happening here. I'll go so far as to say you do know cockroach is sacred to the glasswalkers. Doesn't necessarily mean this guy observed, but he is their totem.
She will grab the little cockroach pin or whatever it was, the little brass cockroach, and she'll hold it up to Spencer and be like, does this mean anything to you?
When she shows it to you, I mean, again, it's like a little aluminum cockroach. I mean, it's nice, and you even notice the like cockroaches sort of arrayed there. Yeah.
Just point of order. Homegirl's still standing there staring at me.
Yeah, yeah, like she very much like boom, got her jaw broken, hooked it up, threw you through the wall, but after that, it just doesn't seem overly upset about any of this. But she is like, "Are you going to stop me?" And you see Tempest does kind of get to her feet warily. She does like shoot you kind of like a withering look, Tempest, but she doesn't do anything else other than just like very much hold on to the bag. And Tempest does say those things about, I think there's a bomb in the bag. And then she shows you the talon.
You didn't tell me you had sandwiches. How are your sandwiches?
I don't.
What?
Why'd you say you had sandwiches? I don't.
Why did you say you had sandwiches? No, that is a lie. That is wrong to lie. It is wrong to lie. It is wrong to lie.
She didn't have sandwiches.
Can she hear me even though I'm whispering?
She can.
You take care of her, and I'll run over to where the cockroaches are with the totem in my hand, and I'll be like, "Hey, guys, I know you don't listen to me, but I got one of yours over there. If you could please help us with that crazy lady, I'd really appreciate it. Look, I got a thing. We can talk later. Anything you want. I'll trade you. Make an offering to you. I'll actually bring real sandwiches.
Is your talking as insane as this seems, Tempest?
Mm.
You swear it's like they understand you. And one of the ones on the edges turns, and there is a one of those like safety mirrors for you to be able to see around a corner, like there. And it turns and it points at it, and it points its little antennas down towards the mirror. And it looks at you and it looks back at the mirror, and it just wiggles like that.
I look over at the
Tempest,
mirror. Yeah.
I will say, Tempest, mirrors and reflective surfaces are one of the primary ways that you gain access to the Umbra, the spirit world.
I'm guessing you're suggesting we go through it.
And it just like looks back at you and then doesn't move again. It just looks. Meanwhile, when she's like, deal with her, Spencer, and she goes to commune with the roaches, what do? This woman looks at you and she's like, if there's no sandwiches, there's no point. I'm getting back on the train. I'm going to the end of the line, in the line, in the line, in the line, in the line.
Wait. Just hang out here for you know what? Hold still. I'd like to take your picture, please.
Why? You already took my picture on the train. Didn't think I saw. I did. I see many things. Lots of eyes. I
Click.
see everything. I didn't say yes.
I'm gonna just keep tapping and continuing to talk to her. They said to take care of you. I don't know how to take care of you. I really don't. I'm sorry. This isn't my. And while I'm talking, I'm going to send her picture and dial up an APB and call police to this location, and run the picture through as many different outlets as I can to get it on the broadband spectrum.
While you do that,
just stay here. She said she has sandwiches. I'm sure she can find sandwiches. She seems like a resourceful.
You see, she cracks the bag a little bit and looks down at it, and she goes, "Oh no, almost out of time. Everyone will die, but not here." And turns and starts to walk back towards the train. And she is heading your direction, in the direction of the mirror. That you hear, Tempest, him very much being like, "Ooh, maybe don't." And she's walking away. And as she is kind of coming your direction, slightly the other side of the hall, like let you, traffic passing. She looks at you, Tempest, and she says, "Not a bad elbow, though. Not a bad elbow." As she's kind of heading back towards the train platform.
Do I know, like, so with the Umbra, like, is there one in Central Park and is there one in like any other locations? Like, if I go through that Umbra, if I go through there, and can I come out anywhere I want, basically?
Absolutely. The Umbra is the spirit world. It is the layer that is over all of our reality. Arguably, it's the real reality. It is very possible to go in here and come out in Central Park or anywhere. I mean, the Umbra has its own perils, of course, but it is possible, yes, to go in here and come out there.
I'm gonna try and get the bag out of her hands somehow, hopefully with the help of Spencer, and run it through the Umbra and toss it somewhere, like, into the bay or something like that it's not gonna like hurt people if it explodes.
Well, first thing, give me either strength and brawl or dex and athletics to try and take the bag from her. Let's see if you're gonna muscle it or if you're gonna like 23 skidoo it.
Right.
And
Dex and athletics is my better one.
Do you say anything to Spencer before you do it?
I just look over at him and I mouth to him. I kind of like turn my back and I'm like,
Spencer, do you try and help when she does this?
What's your first move, May? When you say get the bag, and then where do you go? You going straight for the bag?
Yeah, I'm gonna run straight at her and like try and grab her, hoping that you'll like snatch the bag from her hands or something, or maybe she'll drop it and you can grab it. But I'm gonna try and distract her and like occupy her hands.
Okay. Do you even try and help, Spencer?
I mean, I helped how I could. Why does she want me to? Why is she dragging me into this madness? I said, I show you how. I show you the problem. You deal with the problem. I'm gonna dive for her legs at that point.
All right. Okay. Give me either strength and brawl or dex and athletics, whichever one is going to be better for you.
You said strength and brawl,
or dex and athletics. Yeah. I
great.
realize you're a thinker. I understand.
Great.
I got
One
4, by the way.
success.
4.
I got a
Perfect. 1.
success.
She also got 4, but ties go to the active party, and you have the bonus of the fact that Spencer somewhat ineffectively kind of hit her in the knees with like the sorriest single leg you've ever seen in your entire life, Tempest. And as he kind of hits her in the calf, really, like there's no leverage. You see she goes like she's actually gonna hit him with the bag, and you yank it out of her hands. And when you turn towards the mirror, you see now cockroaches have ringed it and are just like tapping on it with their little antennas.
Excellent. I'm gonna run up and try and get through it.
Normally, this kind of takes some concentration, some meditation. Like it's harder to cross the veil at some places than others. In the middle of a subway, in the middle of a fight, is not optimal. But as you're kind of like, oh no, 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 you're through.
And I'd like to come out somewhere near like an abandoned bay or beach that's like run down and like probably like just has like a reeking worm taint about it already anyways.
Well, the way it works is, it's still got its own geography. You still have to cross it. You're still roughly here. You got to get to somewhere else. And as you come through, and this bag does come with you, it is glowing green, and a foul smoke is coming off of it. Inside the subway, Spencer, she looks down at you and her jaw unhinges, and you see a rows of sharp teeth just go, "Rawr!" And she pounces through the window too. Through the mirror. Meanwhile, back in Central Park, screams as this giant wolf is running through the park, and people are scattering in all directions.
Oh shit, I wasn't specific. I'm gonna immediately, when I hear screams, take my Krenos form and run towards them.
You see all of this happen, Zuffy, that as you what does your Krenos form look like when you shift into your half human, half wolf form?
Well, it's about halfway between a human and wolf. There's a lot of gray fur everywhere and bright amber eyes, and sorry, that probably came out way more sarcastic than I intended.
But not inaccurate. It is not inaccurate. Yeah.
Just like a little bit of prognatism, a little bit of a snoot, and like kind of that lumbering movement that's it looks like that creature should be bipedal, but it's moving on all fours, like that kind of labored movement, but still able to emote. So like I look worried as all shit.
Anybody that's got a dog has ever had a dog, they can still have very expressive faces. So you look like a monster that has a concern. How tall is she? Garu in their Krenos form, they can range anywhere from 6-ish feet on the very petite side, to north of 11 or 12 feet for unusually large ones. You are an Arun. You are a born warrior that usually skews larger, but really it's up to you.
She's probably actually going to hit right about the midpoint of that, maybe closer to 9-ish feet or so.
Mhm.
Because she's not huge. She's still very is a human. She's very small. So she's not a huge Krynos.
Zuffy, give me your wits and awareness.
Okay.
This
Uh,
is a great day, Zuffy, by the way. This is just a great day. Yeah. Mhm.
no successes.
You have successfully disbelieved. No, this is great. So when when all of this starts happening, what does Zuffy do?
I go full lupus form and
Mhm.
take off after her.
Okay, what do you so lupus is your wolf form. What do you look like as a pure wolf? This is what you were born as, in fact. So
Yeah.
what does that look like?
It's like I was describing before, like a mix of tawny and cream colored, fur and markings. Like very much look like a wolf that when you Google a picture of a wolf, like I am a great specimen, but very yes.
I will tell you, as a black fury, black does prominently portray somewhere. So there needs to be some black in there.
The yes, my nuzzle and like the area right around my
Mhm,
eyes is black, but everything
mhm,
else is tawny and cream. But yes,
mhm,
there's the predominant like basically sharp markings of black right around my face. Sorry.
mhm.
Um and I this is the form I have spent the most time in and am most comfortable in. So this is like my truest skin.
So even though both of them are way bigger than you in this form, and he's got a head start, you're actually faster than either of them right now. So what would do you want to do in the
I
midst
want
of all of this?
so I want to run. It's like when your dog when you're running for a reason and your dog thinks you're playing. Like I'm like running ahead and I'm like, this is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. This tawny wolf is sort of like weaving in and out of your your limbs as you're galloping forward, Selena. Uh, Jax, uh, give me your wits and awareness.
Let's see.
I appreciate that you guys are just disaster pups. It's great. It's great. Mhm.
4.
You are aware of the screams that are
Okay.
ahead of you. You are also aware of a second set of significantly louder screams coming from behind you.
Okay.
The people that see you are screaming from a place of logic. That's a giant fucking wolf. The screams that are coming further back are existential madness. Like
Okay.
I'm witnessing something my brain cannot comprehend screams.
If I look behind me, do I see the two of them then coming?
Oh, yeah, they're not subtle. Yeah.
Well, then, to my brain, that means I've done something wrong. So I'm gonna have to swap to my Krynos form because clearly that's what Selena's doing, which is the right thing to do. So I'm gonna like looking back over my shoulder, go and swap forms. And I would say in this form, I mean, same sort of thing. Almost that stereotypical werewolf, like large, black, big silver patch, almost like a gorilla, kind of on the front there, as
Mhm.
he's like kind of trotting through. And if I see that Zufi is keeping up with me,
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and find. Let me pause for a second. Do any of the humans drop their phones?
Oh yeah, they drop everything. Like it's yeah, like literal mind-boggling. Like
Well,
it's difficult not to drop your child fear.
if
Like
yeah, if
yeah.
I if I
Mhm.
if I see any of them, my phone keeps breaking every time I grab it. So I'm gonna try and like scoop up a phone, and then like if I find a hole or something I can dive into, I'm gonna try and
Well,
squeeze into a hole.
well, how big is Jax? Again, probably
Pretty
a big
big.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? Even if she's smaller than me, I don't brain good. So so I'm gonna try and find something that looks small to my current form, and then kind of
Mhm.
slurp my way into it with my rat head. power
That-
gift.
that an ability that you've got. You have redhead, which means you can fit through any hole that your head can fit
Right.
into. And as you're coming through here and you're moving past this kindergarten place, there is like a groundskeeper type area there,
Okay.
where there's like a porthole there on the wall. And Zuffy, as you're sort of like back and forth, this lumbering thing is boom, 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 goes through this impossibly small hole. And Selena, you see that he has entered this building. What do you do when you see that he has?
Are there humans around?
Oh, they're
or
running
they
for their
all-
life. Yeah,
they've
no.
all-
Well, give me your wits and awareness.
Oh, that's not a thing I'm amazing at. That is 2 successes.
You just vaguely notice out of the corner of your eye, in the midst of all the screams and chaos going on around here,
Mhm.
not everyone is running. And they should be, but they're not.
Okay.
But
So
you
I-
very much kind of clock that at the edges of your awareness as he's like blorp into this building
Sure.
with this other wolf just sort of like running around you happily.
Well, anyone who is not running already knows there's something up. So I will shift back into my Hamid form because that's what I'm most comfortable in, and just sort of.
Now,
This is why we don't go on walks. This is why we don't go to the park. I don't.
important point of clarification, Selena. I know we didn't talk much about the rights and things ahead of this. Unless you had your clothing consecrated, it will not come back when you change. You literally rip out of it. So I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to ask all three of you, are you the type of people that would have thought to have your clothing consecrated?
She would have, yes.
Okay. You know what? Actually,
Nope.
I'm gonna say for you, I'm gonna say you've all got it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Zuffy, you wouldn't have cared, but your pack mates knew you were going into the city, and they were like, you know what? Just wear this. Probably similarly, Jax. Selena would have been like, no, we're wearing your outside clothes.
Okay.
Put on your
But-
nice clothes.
But what does Zuffy do when you see her change back? And you do see him plow through the wall of this thing.
I immediately like kind of drop to attention at Selena's feet and sit. I'm not shifting out of my lupus form. I'm just kind of sitting at attention, looking at her, waiting to see what she's gonna do next. But occasionally, like I sort of twitch toward the hole. That's very interesting. That other wolf just went down somehow, and but I'm not. I'm good. Be good. I'm not gonna go look.
Go get him.
And I run over to the hole and stick my snout down the hole. I don't know how far into it I can fit, but I want to try and get him.
I would say you can scramble up through there. You'd be small enough. Then
Great.
you just go inside. Inside, Jax, give me either your strength and brawl or your dex and athletics.
Okay.
Remember, when you were in your Krenos form, you get some pretty significant benefits. While you're there, I believe it is +4 to your strength.
I may need more dice.
I mean,
I'm gonna roll
why-
these first, and then I'm gonna add 4.
let's say, why is life so difficult? Yes.
Crits still count the same way?
Yeah, 2.
2 equals 4, right?
2 equals 4.
8. And then does it matter if I got the it's only matters if I failed, if I got this bad boy, the skull
Right.
boy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you get +4 to your strength, +1 to your dex, +3 to your stamina while you were in this form.
Okay.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm going to drop that over there for you guys for easy access. When you come through the hole, Zuffy. So that was oh well, I guess roll those next 4, by the way. Let's see what you end up with.
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Jack, sorry. Because it's four for being in Neutrino's form. So you can still roll those additional 4 dice, or did you?
Yeah, I added those 4. The total was 8.
Oh, okay. Zuffy, as you scramble through the floor, you see this huge wolf smashed against the wall, and an old woman is kneeling over him with a hand on the side of his head, just pushing his head down. She looks grandmotherly and withered and is wearing like filthy clothes and an old dirty bowler hat, but is holding him down on the ground like it's nothing. He's 700 pounds of wolf.
I run over to her feet and I just look up admiringly at her.
She just looks down at you and she goes, "Kids today, I tell ya." Meanwhile, back in the Umbra, you have jumped through, Tempest, and you see this bag, and this creature comes scrambling after you. When you see it dive through the mirror also, um, Jackson, sorry, Spencer, you notice all of the cockroaches that are ringing the mirror all look up at you in unison, and they look at the mirror and they look back at you.
All right. Just wanted to go to the park. All right. And I'll gingerly step my way in as gingerly as possible.
Tempest, when you see the ambient glow in the smoke coming out of the bag, do you open it or do you just start moving?
I just start moving. Having sensed the worm, I know that usually glowing green is not a good thing, and I'm not going to look at that. I'm just going to try and get rid of it as safe and quickly as possible, and hope that while we're in the Umbra, something good can maybe come to my aid, and not something absolutely terrible.
As you are sort of looking around, and it kind of takes a second to get your bearings, there is still roughly an analogous staircase that kind of lets you come up to the street level here. Inside the Umbra usually is wonderful. It's more real. The sky is bluer, the grass is greener, the flowers are brighter, the wind feels nicer. The Umbra around New York is not that. As you look up, you see the skies are dark with the ambient pollution of the city, and Banes and Banekin spirits can see being making their ways in and out of the clouds. Huge swooping things that look like large mutated bats as wide as a person. You see what looks like pigeons flying by, and every once in a while just get snapped out of the sky by things that look like hawks with 4 wings. You can hear the ambient honks and noise of the traffic and kind of perceive their shadows of where they're moving in the road, but they don't really come through here. But as you turn and look, there is a place that you can see where a column of light is coming down right in the middle of the city. And it is brilliant and golden, and the smog and pollution is all cleared, and it is like a rectangular section of paradise dropped right into the middle of this horrible abyssal place. And as you take all of that in, you hear from behind you that as this thing is clawing and scrambling after you.
I'm going to run for the bright light and clutch the bag as close to me as possible, like make sure I have a death grip on it.
As you're running along here, you do kind of catch out of the corner of your eye this woman comes around the corner and like crashes in to something that probably exists in the real world that you can't quite see, but somehow she's still able to interact with. Over here, she is impossibly tall and skinny with jaundiced skin over a protruding rib cage, and long fangs are sticking out of her distended jaw and her claws. And she comes down and is running on all fours after you. And after that, you
I'm
see Spencer.
I'm gonna shift.
Which form would you like to shift into?
The big one, the Krenos.
Krenos. Excellent.
Especially since I'm in the Umbra, so there's not really like danger of humans seeing me. So
That is true. What does Sky's Krenos form look like when she shifts?
she has bright red hair, like it's so ginger that it's like almost red. And right around her face, she has the same markings as her tattoos. She has
Mhm.
the little black patches of the fur that are identical markings to her tattoos. And her eyes are like a yellow and green color, the mostly green with little rims of yellow around it.
Spencer, as you see this chase pursuing down the umbral equivalent of a New York City street here, what do you do?
Um, well, now that we're no longer out and about, and they're running away, and I can see that it's bright green and glowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's not. Oh, shit, that's not. All right. Um, and he'll shift as well into the Krenos, whatever would be
And
fastest.
well, fastest is the lupus, the just wolf. If overt speed is what you're looking for, then there's the hispo, which is the big wolf, which is still faster and capable of doing some combat. And then the Krenos is mostly your like war combat form.
Then no, Lupus. He'll go for the fastest.
What does your wolf form look like?
So it's scrawny for a wolf. In the Lupus form, he's a little long of limb, skinny looking, and he's got almost white or completely white fur, but in certain patches it runs almost translucent. Where they'll, and if it catches light, it reflects it just a little bit like a polar bear's fur.
Give me your wits and awareness, and you can add 2 additional dice because in your wolf form is when your senses are the sharpest.
Beautiful. That is 2 crits, so 4, 5, 6, 7 successes.
As you scramble into the Umbra, you see all of the things that I described to Tempest, but your eyes catch 2 other things that she did not. One, even though, yes, there is pollution in the worm and it is all terrible, there is also the genius of the Weaver in here, Spencer. Although you yourself are not necessarily a big fan of the Umbra, you can see the electrical perfection crackling through the air, represented not just by the electrical grid of the city, but by the ambient digital signals that are broadcasting everywhere, even down to your phone. You can see all over your phone are tiny little electric spiders that literally crawl back and forth along the web, carrying information to and fro. And you see the organizational brilliance that is at play here. The other thing you notice is that as Tempest is running with this bag in her hands, out of the clouds, things are coming down towards her because this, whatever she's carrying, is literally like blood in the water to these corrupt spirits. She hasn't noticed yet because she's heading for what you know to be Central Park, but she's picking up a tail.
I'm gonna with my speed, their speed, and the head start. Can I catch them?
You absolutely can.
Also,
yeah.
I would like to add that if now knowing that you just said that the light is Central Park, I am not trying to bring that suitcase to Central Park. So if I knew that
Okay.
that was Central Park, I
Okay.
would
Yeah.
not be running towards that light.
I know you said you're new in town, but yeah, you would put together that that's Central Park over there.
No, I'm trying to run it to a place. I thought that was like ancestor spirits, like in a happy area, like a cleansing area where it might be safe.
Oh,
No, if
it
if,
is.
if that's
It's
Central
just that
Park, I'm
place
not
is
trying to
Central
put more
Park.
people in danger.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
Mhm. I said, oh, it is that. It's just that place is Central Park.
Is there anywhere else that I can see that would be like, again, I was trying to head towards a bay or a non-heavily populated area. So is there anything like that? Because that is what Tempest is trying to run towards.
Not really on the island, but here, let's see. Roll me your wits and streetwise to see where you might be able to get to.
Not awareness, damn it.
Mm-mm.
I
You
have
gotta know
5
your way.
points in awareness and absolutely none in streetwise. Yay.
You gotta know your way around.
What's the add bonus for when you're in Krenos form? Is there a bonus to that or is it just attack?
In fact, there is a negative to that. Your mental faculties go down in this form.
Oh, great.
But only to your charisma and manipulation, not your mental stats. Your social stats suffer because you're a giant killing machine. Believe me, I identify with this. But it does not impact your wits. You are muted, ma'am.
That was 1 success on all 3 of the dice I just rolled.
You're like, I should go not that way. And you, Spencer, kind of see she literally sort of like busts a U-turn and starts heading towards not Central Park as you're starting to catch up to her.
Logic and what Spencer knows of the Umbra, knowing the shadow's bad, light is good generally. And if we are to survive somehow, light is probably where we need to be. Yep. I'm gonna attempt to swoop under her and grab the bag in my hand and take off towards the light.
You
I want to
give
surprise,
me
if possible.
either Dex in athletics or
I've got
Dex
a vice
in
grip on it and it's my
larceny.
main mission. I feel like that would be a contested roll.
Oh, it's going to be
I'm
either
sorry, what were you saying?
Dex in athletics or Dex in larceny, whichever is higher there. Against your Dex in athletics or Dex in larceny, Sky.
Do we get anything for the current forms that we're in?
Tempest.
Tempest Sky is your name. That's why I keep rotating just back to Sky. It is going to be in 1 Dex for Tempest in Krenos, an extra 1 Dex. For you in the wolf form is going to be an extra 2 Dex.
Noise.
Six. All right. Oh, also in this, you can spend willpower for rerolls, just like in Vampire. Spend 1 willpower point to reroll up to 3 of the black dice.
That is 9 with a crit.
He lunges at the bag and grabs it and bites into it, and you still hold on to it there as you like see the fact that he's trying to pull it, but he can't get it away from you. But you see that he's trying, Tempest.
Well, look, I don't know what this is. It could be it sounds like a bomb. We don't want to take it where all the people are.
I'm gonna shrug and jet towards the light. She can deal with the shadowy monsters herself.
You see he looks up and then takes off running, and you see Tempest, Banes, hideous, terrible things coming down out of the gloom overhead.
Let's see what I can do. I have to look up what falling tough and iron resolve do because I have a feeling those both make me more durable, but I have no idea what they do.
No problem. While you check that out, meanwhile, back at Central Park, once Zuffy goes through the window, what does Selena do there?
Depends. Am I still? Are there still people around whose presence I can sense?
Since
Well,
how?
not people, but things.
The moment that the Krenos stop being around, the people sort of like start to like calm down a little bit and like warily looking around, and people have their phones out and are trying to record it and are very much like talking amongst themselves, like the fuck was that type thing, like calming down a little bit.
Is anyone paying particularly close attention to me?
You can give me your wits and awareness.
I can certainly try. I'm going to spend a willpower. That is a good thing. That's 2 successes.
Absolutely. A group of homeless guys are eyeballing you intently.
Like,
you realize now they're the
eyeballing
same
me
ones. They're the same ones that didn't run before. No, they're very overtly staring at you.
Cool. Then I'm just gonna sort of like kick dirt with my heel for a second and watch them out of the corner of my eye and just sort of like and mosey away. Do a couple laps. Make sure they aren't following me.
Do you try and enter the building that the two of them are in?
Yes, but I would do a full perimeter walk beforehand.
Right. You notice they basically stay where they are, and when you disappear on one side of the building, they're still there just staring at you on the other side. And as you enter inside, you see the same scene that I described before of this woman wearing a filthy bowler hat that looks almost like the quintessential crone, is there with Jax just down complete palm on the side of his head there, has completely incapacitated him, with Zuffy down at your like just sitting there admiringly in her heels. And she goes, you goddamn pups, we got work to do. Are you ready? Hey, you, Junior. And she comes down and she gets like right in your eyes. And she's like, we got a problem. You ready to be a part of the solution for once?
Leave him alone.
Shut the fuck up. Do you know what you just did? Do you know what both of you just did? I should tear your throat out now with my teeth. And when she says that, her eyes turn bright yellow when she's looking at you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You should be. But we got bigger fish to fry right now.
Selena, you're not supposed to split here.
What? Hey, you must be the brains of this operation. Looking down at you, Zuffy. She's like, you guys got to act fast or a bunch of people are about to get killed, okay? And I will deal with this bullshit later, all right? Look, God damn it. She pulls out like a pocket mirror and like puts it in your face. And you guys see he disappears. Just. And she turns and she does the same thing to you, Zuffy. And she stands up and like walks over towards you, Selena. She's like, fucking Silver Fangs. Are you ready to actually do something, Barbie?
Depends. Are you going to tell me what we're supposed to do?
She just shows you the mirror and you. And the three of you are in the Umbra, which that is not how that's supposed to work, by the way. Not at all. And you see a storm of Banes coming down from the sky and a small wolf running your direction. And you see another Krenos standing there holding this bag, looking up at the sky, like with resolve, as you see this green mist coming out of it and a terrible spindly creature about to pounce on top of her. And that's a good place for us to take a little break. So we'll just take a quick 10 and then we'll come back and it'll be fine. Well, you know what? We'll go deluxe. We'll go 12 and we'll come back in 10 minutes till. And it's going to be all good. Just, nothing to worry about. So see y'all in a minute. And that's the story of how you all got lost in time. And this actually became a Doctor Who spinoff. What are we going to call the Doctor Who spinoff, Diana?
Dr. Werewolf.
She said that during our break. I nearly choked to death, and she didn't want to share that with you, internet. But I, who truly love you, didn't
I'm so
want you to.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
I'm Dr. Werewolf. But I digress. Back to some horrible stuff. So far, you all were called to Central Park for a meeting. In the process of making your way there, Tempest and Spencer ran into each other on the subway and came across a strange worm-tainted woman who, in the process of their dealings with her, have come to realize she is some sort of monster carrying what is presumably some kind of bomb. Technically, no one has checked yet. On the way into the park, Zuffy, Selena, and Jax met each other as well, and mistakes were made as they openly shifted into their Hispo, giant dire wolf, and then Krynos, half human, half wolf forms, respectively, in the middle of a crowded park in broad daylight in the summertime. Zuffy just turned into a normal wolf, which comparatively speaking is less of a faux pas and honestly is really having a great day in all of this. As Spencer and Tempest fled through the Umbra with the seeming assistance of Cockroach, the totem spirit, and were making their way across, they realized that not only was this creature pursuing them in the Umbra, but also whatever it is that this is now in Tempest's possession is attracting the Banes in corrupt spirits to approach her. It's literally like blood in the water to sharks. As she was trying desperately not to take this thing to Central Park in trying to figure out what she was going to do, inside the park, the three of you were accosted by a strange, filthy woman who was able to wrangle Jax with ease in the midst of his giant war wolf form. She still was able to throw him around and pin him effortlessly. She produced a small hand mirror and somehow forcibly threw you alls into the Umbra, which again is not a thing that is supposed to be actually. And as you all found yourself shunted over into the spirit world, you saw a small wolf running towards you, a larger Krynos standing there holding a bag that had an odd green glow and a noxious smoke coming off of it, and hordes of Banes coming down out of the sky in a spindly, horrific looking creature about to pounce onto you, Tempest. What would you like to do as you see this thing is clearly about to jump on you in almost a cyclone of spirits forming over your head?
I'm gonna keep trying to run towards a non-populated area. Like the more I see like industrial kind of areas, I'm gonna assume is more towards the west side, and I'm just gonna keep running to try and get to the bay. I'm just gonna keep running.
No, as you know, actually, you don't know. We did a wits and streetwise. You're not quite sure which way to go. Give me your dex in athletics.
This is very disturbing to me as May, because I know Manhattan like the back of my friggin' hand. So this is very frustrating that my character's like, what? Which way is? It's not like it's on a grid system and numbered or anything.
She didn't know where it was.
Which one is it? I'm getting
Dex and athletics.
okay.
Or strength and brawl. She is about to try and jump on you. It's whether or not you're going to grace yourself out of the way or muscle yourself out of the way.
Both?
Currently in
Can
your
I do
Krynos,
Dex and Brawl and do both?
yeah.
And what
Although
is
you have 4 extra dice to your strength right now in your Krynos form.
oh, okay, then
And
yeah,
1 extra die to your dexterity.
then strength is better. And all right. And athletics, you said?
Yes.
All right. Okay, there's a crit. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with a crit.
You all see this thing pounces, and she basically just ducks out of the way, and it kind of, yes.
Oh, actually, wait, I guess it doesn't matter if I won, but with the Iron Resolve, I get 2 more dice. I forgot about that.
Yeah, nope, you got enough. You beat it. She goes arcing over, the creature goes arcing over her head and just like crashes into what looks like some sort of like twisted wrought iron fence. As you see, she begins running down the street in the opposite direction of the three of you. Spencer, you see these other 3 Garu arrive. Hooray, the cavalry's here.
I'll Scooby-Doo stop as they just kind of pop out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look back at May and the green thing and look up and then look back at them and then look at May and then up and back at them. And you know what? I'm going to deuces. I'm going to head straight towards Central Park. I'll be like, look, I told you guys. I told you. You go do the thing. I'll see you later.
Zuffy, since you are currently in wolf form, the 2 of you can communicate openly. Those of you that are in the Krenos form, you are loosely aware of what he's trying to tell you and can kind of roughly speak back to him as you kind of are stuck in between.
No, if they can understand, I'm going to say, there's a time, there's a timer, there's a timer. Stop that. This isn't my thing. This isn't my thing. I'll see ya.
You are muted, ma'am.
Yeah, it's playtime. Playtime.
No, not playtime. Not playtime. Not playtime. Definitely not playtime. There's a time on a thing. It's going to blow up. Lots of death. I don't want to be here for it. I don't want to be here for it.
Where do you want to be?
That way. That way. We should all go that way.
Okay.
Zuffy, I was about to say the Umbra is like your second home, but in many ways it's your first home. You love it here. Just like the city is kind of stinky and gross with humanity, the Umbra is also kind of stinky and gross with humanity here. But you still can't help but feeling somewhat at ease in this place, despite the overtly terrible things that are happening overhead.
Yeah, I'm really sorry if I have to make you repeat yourself here, but I'm trying to like picture.
Mhm.
So I know that Spencer and I are both in the lupus form, and that Tempest has basically gone in a different direction with the bomb. Yes.
Like for
But
our purposes, Central Park is immediately to your north, and she is heading south. She's clearly actively heading away from Central Park.
and are Selena and her underlings still around?
Yeah, they're right next to you. Yeah,
Okay.
like the 3 of you just appeared right here.
Great. So I have this little conversation with Wolf Spencer, and then I go over to Selena, sorry, and I like bite at your hand and try to like pull you toward us to come and play with us.
I will smack the dog's snoot if it's trying
actually,
to pull me away from what's happening. I mean,
yeah, technically, yeah, I believe you actually were in your Hamid form right now. Like you're just a person. You're in. You can come into the Umbra in your person form, but yeah, that's you're a people right now.
I'll just kind of like no, we there's something happening.
When she says that, I look at Spencer and I like have the saddest eyes, and then I go back over to Selena and I like curl up around at her feet, like ready to do what it is she wants to do.
I don't know that you have time to do that, because seeing a guru running away from this onslaught of bad, I will probably take a few Hamid steps and then start to change into my Hispo form and chase after May.
Great. I
All
run
right.
after you.
Boom, boom. Jax, what are you doing while you're taking all this in?
I was gonna say, well, I assume since I was kind of squished down, I kind of probably landed on my stomach, and as
Mhm,
I kind of pushed myself up. So I see you said they're called Banes.
mhm.
Are
It's
those
corrupt.
inherently an evil thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
specifically
sweet.
veins are spirits that have become corrupted, usually by pollution, usually by the worm, um, and become bad.
Then that is perfect. I'm in my element now. So Jax is gonna stand up. He's like, "Oh yeah, killing bad stuff's my jam." And as he kind of like he starts like bopping his head as like "Immigrant Song" by Led Zeppelin starts playing. I'm gonna immediately make my way over there and start tearing into stuff. Then
uh, as you sort of get up, well, if your goal is combat, your number one target would probably be the creature that you just saw try and pounce at your fellow Garu ahead of you.
yeah, I don't know what she has, and I know it's important, I guess, but like I know she's running away, and like I want to kill the other thing. So yeah, I'm definitely going for that.
Okay, as you sort of start running down the street towards this thing, up just kind of under the clouds, but almost like arrayed around you, you get the sharpest sense that you're being watched, Jax. That you can just barely make out like the spectral outlines of these grand warriors and royalty that are just standing. Some of them literally have crowns on their head as they're just like watching and just kind of like nodding as you are running forward.
Watch this. I'm gonna go ahead and pop. I'm gonna use my gift and pop my spur claws as well.
Ready to roll.
Yeah, I gotta make a
Tempest.
rage check. I
Yep,
got two
roll it.
successes.
Hey, Tempest. You are aware of the fact that help is apparently on the way, but you're moving. What would you like to do?
I'm trying to get as far away from them as possible to not put anyone in danger, and I'm going to look in the bag, but I'm going to make sure that they are far, far away from me just in case it goes boom when I open it.
Well, no, I mean they're definitely heading your direction, but you have a not unsubstantial head start on them. But they're coming, especially because in the Hispo and Lupus form, they're actually faster than you. But you have a moment where you crack it open, and inside you see something terrible. Here in the Umbra, you can see that there is literally what look like slimy green worms crawling all over a device that almost looks almost like a clockwork bowling ball, like a gyroscope with like odd gears in things moving around. And in the middle of it, there is something that is giving off a noxious green glow. And there is a timer that is counting down. It's got about 3 minutes left on it.
I'm going to pull out the little cockroach totem thing
Hmm.
that's there, and I'm going
Hmm.
to look at it, and I'm going to look up at the sky, and I'm going to be like, I don't want to, I don't want to ask uh, yours. I don't want to ask him to do this, otherwise he might get blown up. Is there anything you can do, to stop this
As
thing?
you are looking at it, you swear it winks at you. It's only about yay big. But
Mm. And I'll try and set it kind of like on it in there and see if it does anything.
when you put it on it, you see it sort of shivers a second and legs come out and it crawls down into it. And
Good.
presumably you're still moving this entire time, right?
I probably set it down for about maybe like 10 seconds just to open it up and look, but as soon as I set him down, I do kind of pick it back up and start running again.
The moment you put it down and you're like, oh, okay, great, cool, fantastic. And you go to grab the bag, immediately behind you, rah, this silver fang is all over this other thing right behind you. Give me your strength and brawl there, Jax. Because what is
Okay.
going to happen is she is still clearly trying to lunge at you, Tempest, but we're going to see if Jax gets to her first. Because it's like, and and yet he's there behind it.
Let's see. Sorry, it's a lot of dice. One second.
I understand. He protect and then he attack.
Yes.
Spencer, while this is happening, as you start to head back to Central Park, you realize they're not following you. Do you still go back?
You
You're muted. Sorry. Mhm.
Perfect. I told them. I said, don't go. I told them there's the problem. We need to get away from the problem. Shit. Why did they?
Spencer, while you're doing this, you are aware of the flow of the energetic patterns of the Weaver here. That is really more just nonsense to everyone else, but you can see it. You can see there is a dramatic uptick in radio signals going out from here. Like the APB you put out worked. Like a full scale bomb response is happening in the mortal world, but that doesn't help you if the bomb's in the Umbra.
Shit. Okay. All right. Shit. I guess it's back to me. So yeah, he'll as a wolf, he'll sprint back towards the bag.
Mhm.
Okay.
Give me your wits and awareness, and you can add 2 dice to it.
Boop boop. Four successes.
You swear, because geography is non-Euclidean in the Umbra. You swear she's talking to a little silver cockroach and then puts it in the bag. And then as she goes to stand up, all hell breaks loose. So how many rolls did you get there, Jax?
Okay. So it's 10, and one of them's on my blood dice. Is it a crit? Is that important?
You need 2 10s to have it be a crit.
Well, I have 2 crits.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying one of
blood
them's
die?
on. Yeah, one of them's on there.
Oh yeah, no, then that definitely is going to be messy.
Sweet.
Okay. Tempest, you stand up and this thing is right there, and you see this silver blur kind of appear behind it and just claw down its back, and you hear the pop of like sinew and bone as his claws kind of rake down its back. And while he's doing this, it occurs to you, Jax, oh, this is where you split up. And rips it in half, spraying blood and guts and gore all over you, Tempest, and all over you, Jax. Just a thick, sickly, greenish black goo. Blah! All over both of you.
Well then,
Thanks.
I split him up. What
Yes,
you
you
got
did.
there?
So this we don't have a lot of time left, guys, but this is counting down. I think there's probably maybe about 2 minutes left. I just checked a second ago. There's 3 minutes left. And I look at Spencer and I go, your totem is helping, or at least what should be your totem is helping. You really need to talk to the roaches. You'll be friends. Guys, I'm trying to get this to where there's no people, just in case it does go boom. I'm not sure what to expect, but hopefully, we're not, and nobody else is in the way if it does, unless the roach or you can stop it. And I do point back to Spencer when I say that.
Yes, by now you're all there. I mean, the speed of his lupus form and his like all like a very large silver wolf and 2 smaller wolves have run up to you on the street. And Tempest, as you are very much panicking, like I don't know what to do. And you kind of like push your hair back and look up for a second. You swear for the just briefest of moments, the clouds part and you see a brilliant starry sky. And it goes back over again.
Do I know what that means?
It feels good. It feels good. It feels good.
Okay, I think that was the Stargazer thing.
Give it to me. I'll eat it.
No, Jax, no.
When I get back over there, I'll
Mhm.
shift again
Mhm.
back to my Hamid form. Is
Mhm.
this protect? And I'll pop open the bag because it's still sitting there now. What are the
Mhm.
veins doing? Are they like trying to rip us open? We being assaulted? Anything like that?
You very much feel like you should be dead by now, but like a strange mist has sort of like moved in, like it is over you all, like it's protecting you. Jax, you can see your ancestors fighting the Banes. Like brilliant silver wolves are like ripping through them and like slashing with spears and axes. To the rest of you, it just sort of looks like a cloud covering is holding them back temporarily.
Is this particular device perhaps electronic? As I'm looking at it,
Well, give me your intelligence and your technology.
gladly.
Did you crit on it? Yep. That looks like you critted on whatever that bug was. Yeah, was that a fly?
That's a mosquito, and I said I was gonna get it by the end of the night, and I got it.
That
It's
is a
been
big
biting
chunky
me all
mosquito.
night. Oh
I
yeah,
know.
it's very bloody. There is a gross spot on my wall now. That's later Emily's problem.
Little did we realize that we've been playing vampire this entire time. Yep.
That's 4 success.
As you are looking at this device, Spencer, what you know is this is a mundane device. It is a dirty bomb, but it is clearly powered by something mystical. This crystal inside is essentially a talon of the worm. The way the magic items work amongst the Garu is you have things that are called fetishes that are basically permanent. It might literally be a magic sword or glasses or something that like lasts. A talon is something more like a single use item. That has just like a little bit of power that can be exhausted. So the answer is a bit of both. This is a mundane physical bomb that has been mystically amplified. And if it detonates, it would be horrific.
So, with that in mind, pulling my phone out of my, I hope it came with me, out of my pants pocket.
It did, but you don't have cellular reception in the spirit world. However,
fine.
you, as a glasswalker, may still have access to the weave and be able to do some other things because this is very much your jam.
I would
And
like to try and use.
when he pulls the phone out, it is covered in like bluish spiders made out of electricity, and they're crawling all over him, and he doesn't seem bothered by it.
Normal. This is my thing. This is my jam. I'd like to use plug and play.
Okay, which does
so that any digital computer the Glasswalker uses becomes fully compatible with any other digital device, regardless of obstacles, such as different operating systems, lack of compatibility access ports, or even the complete absence of any means of receiving or interpreting a wireless signal.
You pull out your phone and you look at it, and down in the bomb, you swear for a second you see a glint of a silver cockroach that just like slides a panel back and kind of like disappears again. And there's like a little access port inside the bomb.
Mm-hmm. All right, step back. I'm gonna this is me. I'm the hero. Step back. I got this. And I'm gonna try and hack this bomb.
Give me your intelligence and technology. Okay. And at that second, you realize the cloud cover has broken and the spirits come pouring down towards all of you. All of you, give not you, Spencer, because presumably you guys are going to try and cover him. Give me either your dex and athletics or your strength and brawl if you're trying to get out of the way of these things or if you're trying to throw hands with them as they're pouring out of the sky.
If I throw hands, can I use my unicorn's arsenal as well, and add that in my specialty to claws for brawl?
I was about to say, I don't even know what that does, and the answer is yes. But what does Unicorn's Arsenal entail?
I have to look that up what
Okay.
the actual numbers are for what it does, but essentially, my claws become very like pearlescent, iridescent colored, and they have a nice, pretty, shimmery pearl thing going on, and they essentially, I believe, do damage over time. They do like a bleed damage thing, if I'm correct.
Yes, I found it. So you do need to make one rage check, just like a hunger check, to see if your rage is going to go up. You tell me
It
what
does.
do, if not now, when? You know, like you guys are like a little bit of the Kill Bill music starts.
Mhm.
You tell, what do your pretty killer claws look like?
Uh, they just grow a little bit longer from before, like what they were, and at the end of them, they look spiraled, almost like a screw, but also almost kind of like a little unicorn horn, like just that little spiral right there. That's like a little dagger for a little extra shred damage when I go in. But they're a very beautiful color, just like those iridescent things that you see everywhere now. There's a rainbow of accoutrement.
Spencer, you don't notice this because you're still very much questioning why any of this is even happening. All three of you can't help but respect those nails for completely different reasons. Yes, Selena.
So seeing the pretty iridescent, gorgeous unicorn nails come out, I'll probably just sort of like, and I'm gonna go ahead and activate my hand blades, which
What does
basically
that
just gives
entail?
me sword hands.
It's just you're like,
This is the most ridiculous thing, and I had to take it.
just full
So
T1000, like, huh?
yeah, so many Silverfangs are trained in swordplay as part of their birthright. This gift allows them to rely on such skills at any time by turning their arm into a razor-sharp blade that slices and cuts like the best forged sword. So my arms turn into swords.
I mean, that is also self-validating. Okay. And what is Zuffy gonna do? But are you going to shift into your Krynos form, or are you planning to fight as a wolf?
I will shift into Krynos form, but like I literally do. It's as if this is a magical girl transformation scene. We've got beautiful unicorn like claws. We've got sword hands, and then we've got.
What do you look like in your Krynos werewolf form?
So the black markings do become more prominent in this form, and then form like rippling markings all down my back as well, taking over my whole form. My eyes get much bigger, and because like it's sort of a visual similarity to how my character always wears like these fingerless gloves. There's my paws are covered in black fur as well, as
Hmm.
my claws come directly out of that. But yeah, I ain't got no fancy claws, so I just
Yeah, hey, it's vintage. They're vintage. It's no problem.
yeah.
Jax, you see as all of this happens, shing, krah, your ancestors have stepped out of the way of the Banes and are just letting them come through. And you see, like, one of them sort of like nudges one of the other ones and points towards your fellow Silverfang sword arm, and then holds up their arm, and their arm's the sword also, and they just nod.
I think I'm gonna do first because I saw the magical girl transformation and it was fabulous. So in his mind, like he wants to do Super Saiyan now, so he's gonna activate Lambent Flame. So as he kind of probably like into a big howl, that then like acting like it's a transformation, but really he's just lighting things up.
Mhm.
And
Valid, no, valid.
yeah, so kind of everything around my person just kind of into light, and I guess pop my spur claws and hop into into
What
battle
do your
then.
spur claws look like? You guys
I
are the most
mean,
extra group of werewolves like ever, and I'm for it. I deeply approve of all of this.
Okay. Sorry, I had to run one other rage check.
So are we saying we're gonna call this Howl at the Sailor Moon?
Ah,
Super Howl at the Sailor Moon.
Emily.
Yep, Joy. Yes. What do your spur claws do?
So the spur claws, let me read it because it's a mouthful. Basically, the next attack I do, it buries. They're essentially like expendable claws that I regrow. They kind of hook into things.
Got it.
So when I hit somebody with it, it hooks in until they take a turn to remove it, and they get a 2 dice penalty on anything until they remove them.
Thanks. I hate it. Perfect. So you also kind of have a dot. So you four
Yeah.
all give me your strength and brawl. And remember, you have 4 extra dice while you're in your Krenos form. Meanwhile, Spencer over there. Oh, yes. You're going to say something there, Tempest?
Oh.
Is this on top of the strength and brawl that we just rolled that I still haven't
Oh,
given you before?
no, it's the same one. This is
Okay.
we're just have it. And I'm going to come to you in a second. Spencer, as you diligently try and save this world and the next, how'd that roll go?
Question: Can I roll my science, where I have a specialty in computers, instead of technology?
Yes.
Beautiful. In which case, I'm gonna burn a willpower because that was much better. Okay, 6 successes.
As you are going through here and you kind of are, very quickly trying to unhook things and twist things, and every once in a while something that looks like a multi-headed owl kind of swoops past your face, but then you get sprayed with blood as Tempest is like ripping up something that might have been like a rat at one point, and it's just this terrible horrific scene as like these 4 Garu are just standing in the street fighting all around you as you're desperately trying to like stop this thing from detonating. And every once in a while the timer like jumps ahead by 10 seconds, but then you see it goes up by 5 and it just keeps going back and forth. As you are working, you don't notice a long green worm bites into your finger, and you hear, "Spencer, this is not your fight. You don't have to die here. Go home. Save yourself. Let them burn."
I don't know who. I don't know what that is. I don't care. Look, I've got my fangs into this thing. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna turn it down. This is my thing now. I'm gonna take it down.
You know me. You've always known me. I am inevitable.
No. This is my world. I'm the master here, not you, worm. This is mine. You're on my turf now, bitch. This is mine.
When you say that silver cockroach crawls up and you see it bites into the worm and starts like trying to pull the worm off of your finger while you're working there. Tempest, what was that for your strength and brawl?
Nine with a crit.
9 with a crit. I'm going to see how all of you turned up here. So 9 with a crit. Jax, for you?
With 7.
7. Selena.
8 with a crit.
8 with a crit. And Zuffy.
4.
4. You guys are so lucky because I rolled a not insignificant number of dice and they all rolled horrifically. And even you, Zuffy, I was like, nope, Zuffy screwed, and I rolled 3. I rolled so many dice and still got 3. And as you guys are fighting, ripping into them, tearing vicious holes into these things with your pearlescent, sparkling claws, which shimmer and sparkle with the blood and ichor spread all over them. Yes.
Point of order. She does try and do it in a very what do you call it, kosher way, where she tries to go for kill shots very quickly to be as humane about it as possible, because like she is a pacifist and isn't like very happy about having to fight, but understands that it is necessary at this point.
You know, with 9 with a crit, I will say you have that level of precision. That these horrible things come at you and you're like, just very efficiently breaking these things down. Jax, you tell me, what does it look like when Jax is killing them? Because by now, all manner of creatures are pouring out at you. There's things that you think might have once been human have come scrambling out, horrific rat-like things, odd creatures that never existed, that look like odd mismatches of just eyes and teeth flying out of the sun, all manner of terrible thing. What does it look like when Jax is destroying them?
Yeah, he really doesn't care what they are or look like. He's just excited to have lots of a target-rich environment, as they say.
Mhm.
So he's literally just kind of flailing around, grabbing everything he can and tearing it apart. He's probably actually singing the lyrics in like a deep wolfy voice at this point.
Yeah. Singing out loud, Spencer. It's a terrible distraction. Zuffy, what does it look like when Zuffy is killing these things?
It looks like I am like a day at the beach. Like I am just like jumping from one to the next, just claws and teeth and then just right to the next. Like I make it a sport. I am having a grand old time. And my focus is like moving as quickly as possible between all of them.
Zuffy, this is how they told you it would be from when you were the smallest cub. They told you that you were special, that you would go and that you would fight and that you would make the Furies proud and that you would be there to save everyone when the time came. And you're like, yeah, 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 super
Yeah,
pumped.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
super pumped. Let me double hope. Hang on, I gotta check one thing. I'm like, and you all blow up. Womp womp. I'm like, whoops, you needed 5 successes to
At
live.
least I went down doing what I loved.
Selena, what does it look like when Selena's fighting these things?
So for Selena, it's gonna look like master swords play, honestly.
Mhm.
Think Dread Pirate Roberts, like the dueling scene that he has with Inigo Montoya, except
Mhm.
instead of
You-
trying to kill
You're
one
not
guy,
that
I'm killing all the guys. And every once in a while, it almost looks like one of the swords is gonna get turned on the people around me, but like I catch myself. And I always keep within like as much as I can while he's going all Mr. Rogers of murder. I'm gonna stay close to Jax as much as I can.
Mhm.
But it's expert swords play.
Mhm. And you, both Zuffy and Tempest, give me your wits and awareness.
Uh. You wouldn't think it's possible, but it's all fails.
Just, you just don't care. You're like, no, I'm happy. Just
I'm just happy to be here.
She's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a dog with her head out the window, like tail
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the flash in the
Yeah.
breeze. Like
Yeah, you're lost in the moment. The fact that this is like an existential crisis has not occurred to you, Zuffy. Um, Tempest, you being more contemplative, notice a couple of things. One, you notice just the abject joy this Black Fury is having. Like, it's not even like the joy of combat. Like, many Garu love destroying the worm. No, she's just having a blast. She's you also notice that while this big one is just moving through, decimating these things. The smaller Silver Fang, it's almost like she's trained to compensate for him. Like as he turns her back, she sort of lunges and attacks one that was right behind him, or he picks one up and she just like slashes at its throat as she runs past. That like she's sort of moving like the wheel around his spoke. And you also notice the glass walker is having a very intense conversation. Like you've kind of caught on to the fact that he's a little monologue-y, but you make out the green worm on his finger and you make out the silver cockroach fighting it. As he very much is like, no, 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 no. This is my world. No, this is my world. This is my world. You see that. You are muted, ma'am.
Let me see if I have anything for that. Can I use Falling Touch on the little worm?
I'm gonna say probably, but let me read it real quick. If you have it in front of you, what does Falling Touch entail?
Let me see if I do.
I have it if you don't, right?
As so happens, I got it right here. But yeah, please read it for the people that don't know.
Gift allows the Garu to send their foe sprawling with but a touch. The aerial spirit can teach this gift. Gift may be employed through even the lightest contact with only a contest of composure and intimidation versus stamina and athletics, or may be delivered through a successful attack by making a rage check. It inflicts full damage and knocks the target prone.
You give me your composure and intimidation to see if you can yeet this worm spirit off of your new glasswalker.
Right. I cannot.
Well, what did you get?
Oh, none. Absolutely none.
Would you like to spend a willpower to re-roll any?
Oh, sure. Why not?
That is an option that you have. You all also can spend rage to enhance your attributes, similarly to the vampires. It works a little different. One, you come in and you're like, nah, I don't want to boop him, not cockroach. You see, as you're like very much struggling for it, the silver cockroach kind of like yanks on its tail and straightens it out for you. As you see, it's got little mandibles that are still buried in his finger. And the cockroach looks at you and winks.
I wink back and boop it.
This like you guys see this worm rockets down the street and it takes a nasty chunk out of your finger. Spencer, it hurts. But when you go for that split second to boop it, you hear, "You won't escape. This is why your own family left you behind. You're useless and weak." Even though you were touching it just for a fraction of a second, that just like bombarded your mind before it.
That is not what they said. Quite the opposite, actually. But all right.
Spencer, you continue. Well, actually, you see this happen. Do you say anything? You're muted still. Sorry. Yeah.
Nope. I paused for a second, but then I'm back in.
Yep. Okay.
Nope. Yes. Thank you. Yep. Just. That is what I do.
Do you say anything back to him, there, Tempest?
Wait, what did he say? I missed that.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that finger looks.
No distractions. You kill things.
Yeah. Is the little cockroach buddy still by him?
You don't see him again. He like pulled the thing out and you pow, and then you don't see him.
I look around just for him for a quick second and go, if you see that little cockroach again, make friends with him. And I'm going to go help the others.
As you guys turn back around, you all hear a howl that is like almost deafening. Like you see kind of like a shockwave go out. Like, coming from Central Park. And when like the wave kind of goes over, you see the Banekins, many of which you've killed, but it's like they're still just continuing to pour in because more or even be attracted by the carnage and the death of the other Banes. And as you look up in the sky, the like outline of something the size of about a whale, you can see over the clouds that is coming your direction. And when you hear the howl, it sort of like turns and it descends through the clouds and you all see it. It is a bright green dragon. It is a sparkling emerald with wings out the size of about a 747. And its eyes are burning with a green fire. And it curls its lips back and you see venom dripping from its fangs. And it looks down at you all and it comes like it's about to descend and the howl goes off again, and you, Jax, can see your ancestors very much like start to like get ready as they see it, and it turns its head down at all of you and it winks and just goes back up through the clouds.
That's really disappointing.
Spencer, after a few seconds, you are able to unseat that crystal, but you don't think you can completely stop the device. That is beyond your purview. But you have rendered it, it's still a bomb, but it is now not a supernaturally toxic bomb.
All right. I took care of the bad problem. Now the mortals can deal with the thing. This is no longer our problem. Let's get it back. I've called the bomb squad. Don't ask me how. I've done it. The authorities are there. They just have to get the thing. I just have to get them to the thing, and then they can take care of it, and then we can go on about our business. We don't have to deal with this anymore. So we pointed out the problem. We did our job. Now somebody else can deal with the problem.
Okay, how do we get it back? Let's take it back. Where do we put it?
Well, I called him to the subway station where we were, so we got to go back, reverse through the mirror, and we can get it. We can get it. We can get it. We can do it. We can do it. They can do it. We told them.
Let's
I
go.
told them.
Do you take it
back to the morgue?
Do you want to take it back to the place where you came through?
Yeah, because that's where I presume the bomb squads are.
As you all sort of come back through and run down this umbral version of the subway, when you guys get down there, you see a 12-foot glowing blue cockroach made out of pure electricity is on the subway platform.
I lean into Spencer and I go, that should be your friend. You could be friends. You should be friends.
That's not normal, right?
He's an ancestor.
I am your friend. I'm everyone's friend. And there's like a metallic buzz in his voice as it speaks. It's like, Spencer, you might want to drop that thing off before it blows your head off.
That's the goal. That's the girl. That's the goal.
You see where you guys came through, there is a portal, and it is glowing, and it is ringed by little cockroaches that are made out of electricity.
Does Jax know that this stuff is okay? Because right now his claws are out and he's still ready to tear into stuff.
I probably have a hand on his
Okay.
his shoulder to try
Right.
and
I realize that you don't brain that good, Jax, but the
Okay.
cockroach is a major totem. So the
Okay,
fact
cool,
that
cool, cool.
cockroach is a thing is probably something somewhere in the recesses. Mhm. Do you put it back through the hole?
Yes, I'm gonna give like a thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all your help, and toss the thing through the hole into the subway station. Yes, yes, that's
You-
where it wants to be. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to be here.
And you presumably do you hold on to the worm crystal?
Did it actually come out?
Yeah, you
When
were
I
able to physically remove it. Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's not mortal thing. Mortal thing goes back. We keep the not mortal thing. That's for
You
what it would do.
dump it through and you all see this giant cockroach. It's more akin to those you know how they found those crustacean fossils recently, of you know, like just giant sea dwelling bugs. That is a more apt description of what he looks like than just a big cockroach. He's kind of like a segmented multi-legged thing made out of electricity. And he's like, good work, my boy. I mean, maybe next time monologue a little less so you can seem like a badass when you're doing badass stuff.
Do we all hear that?
Oh yeah, no, he very much says it and like directly in front of all of you.
Badass, badass, badass. You guys heard that?
He has a point though.
I didn't see you kill anything.
I don't know you. I don't know you. You don't know me.
Yeah, I don't, and I'm gonna point a sword hand at him.
I'm gonna
As
take
they're
a
all-
picture.
But they're all
Yeah,
Tempest is kind of off on the side, going through her pockets for like little crumbs and stuff like that she can find, just kind of at the bottom of the bag, and just kind of passing it all to all the little cockroaches that are still around. She's doing a little sprinkle around there for him.
they even though they look like they're made out of electricity, they are taking it. And Cockroach turns and looks at you and he says, "Ah, I knew you were special. You stayed behind. Why?" Looking at you, Tempest.
Me?
Yeah.
Um. Well, the others didn't want to fight, and I felt it was the right thing to stay and help. Um. So, yeah. I split from the Stargazers and went to stay with the Children of Gaia for a little bit. I just wanted to be as useful as I could be. I felt
It
that was the
does.
best.
You feel like some semblance of a smile comes across his like a buggy face. And he says, you've been working hard. And you all see what under different circumstances would be like a holographic projection, but it just appears over his head. And it is pictures of Tempest. It is pictures of Tempest like rioting and flipping cars and doing all the things that you saw before, Spencer. But there's other pictures that the screen flips that only you can see, Tempest. It's pictures where there should have been no cameras of you saying goodbye, of you choosing to go alone, of you out in the desert looking up at the stars.
Well, I suppose that makes sense that you can see that. I say to the cockroach.
There's not many places a cockroach can't get into. And he turns and looks at you, Jax. And he kind of like rears up slightly so that he's like comes to your full height. And he's like, "Aren't you some sort of specimen? How many
Yeah.
legs am I holding up right now?" There's hundreds.
I get when it's more than like 4, I have a hard time. So is it 5?
We'll chalk it up to the new math. Hey, oh, come on. You guys, I'm just fucking with him. And you all see Cockroach lean and say, I'm just fucking with him. None of you can see it, but Jax, you realize your ancestors have followed you down into the tunnel, and they very much are like warily, like, what's he doing to our boy? Type thing.
Well, did you see all the cool stuff I did back there? It was I killed a lot of stuff.
It was really cool, big boy. We need big boys. See, look at this. You got the bronze. He's got the brains. She's got the courage. What does that leave from you two? And first of all, it's bullshit that you fuckers won't show yourself to her. Wait, Selena, look at these fuckers. And when he says that, you can see sort of now outlined in a little bit of electricity. They kind of like look down at their hands and things and then look at you. Silverfangs. I mean, Jax has told you he could see them, but you always are like, can he though? But you see them, Selena. Ancestors.
It's their choice, I guess.
Don't let those stuffy bastards get you down. They're proud of you. You didn't see how excited they looked when you bust out those sword hands.
It's true. I am a little ashamed that I can't do that.
That's why I'm here, so you don't have to.
Yeah, as I kind of kick the dirt.
You do whatever it takes. Got it? There is just a lot of fate split between you guys. You got this destiny, Tempest. You got this destiny, Jax. Zuffy. How you doing, kid?
This is the best day I've had in a really long time.
Isn't it the best day? I mean, is it like come on, the war with the worms stop a tactical nuke from going off on Manhattan Island? What else is there?
I made friends.
I did that. I did that. That was me.
Just
A nuke?
what a manner of speaking. Once Pentex gets involved, the labels become a little spurious.
I'll just kind of turn and look incredulously at Spencer when he says that.
Badass. He said it. Badass.
Hey, all of you, pull your phones out.
Huh?
Your phone.
Um,
If you don't have one, Jack stole a few. Come on, put it out here.
yeah.
Come on, you Luddites.
Kind of like hold up a couple.
Did Zuffy have a phone before now or no? Yeah. Then Jax, you did just kind of have like a handful of phones.
I don't know how many of them are still in one piece, but I've got a few.
You see Cockroach looks at you. He's like, none of that Nokia flip bullshit. Right. Bring him in. And as he extends legs to each of you, he touches each one of your phones. And on the back, a little cockroach logo appears.
You didn't mess with my settings, did you? I have very specific settings.
I made your settings better, okay? There wouldn't be settings if not for me.
You're right. That's fair.
Thank you.
That's fair.
Take that out of your mouth, sweetheart.
No.
Put it.
Oh, I don't change, Zuffy, don't you? Yeah, but that's been on the ground and then in his pocket, and then there's some Bane and goo on it. You don't want the. Maybe you do. Okay, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life.
Yeah, how's it taste? It's good.
Smells like success. Tastes like success. As they both like very gingerly start to chew on these phones.
I will swat Jax's out of his mouth.
Cockroach.
I lied about the sandwiches earlier, but I did in fact have a couple of dog biscuits in my bag. I'm gonna take one out and kind of pull the phone from Zuffy's mouth and put a dog biscuit in her mouth.
The best day just got that much better, Zuffy. Just that much better. Cockroach just said, all right. Unless you object, you 5 work for me now. I think you might be able to do some good in this world. And I can do some good for you.
That's fine. Like together? Like we
Yeah, look, you just saved millions of people up there. You didn't realize it. You got really fucking lucky, I gotta say. But even just the claw, how do you have spiral unicorn claws? That's not a thing I come across before now. That's
At that was my time with the children of Gaia. They taught me that.
I don't have as many connections with them as I'd like. We don't move in the same circles, you know?
you see him tweaking right now? How on earth could we work with him?
I did it. That was me. Badass. He said
He's
it.
in the midst of having a divine revelation. And when he says that, he does glow brighter. You know? He's like, he just understands what's happening here.
You all
But
don't understand.
he's like, Spencer, though, more inside voice, strong, silent things. See, like this guy's got going. It's just pace it. You can be a thinker, just pace it. Oh, blessing number 1.
Blessings. I like blessings. Blessings sound great.
If anybody hurts these guys, they answer to me. And when he says that, you guys hear, God damn it. And out of the shadows, you see 6 other Garu come out, and they look filthy. They look worn, their fur is matted, they're patchy in places. And that old woman that you saw walks out in front of all of them. And she just says, Cockroach? And he just says, Mother Larissa, I understand that you've been offended. Do you guys know who this is? And she just says, they sure as shit don't, or they would have behaved themselves differently in my park.
I never went to your park. Just saying.
You almost detonated a bomb on the sidewalk near my park. At least this cute thing right here was trying to get away. Pointing at you,
but I didn't.
As I kind of want to look at my ancestors for a second, if I can still see them.
Mm-hmm.
Should I know who she is?
They look at you and they just go,
okay. Just log that in my brain that it's like kind of important.
All of you can give me wits and streetwise. She is a Garu of some influence. There is a chance now that the insanity has subsided a little bit, especially because Spencer and Tempest had not seen her before now. Two.
I rolled all successes and got a 2.
Hey, 0, 3. You've gotten so like this could have been like a number of bestial fails for Zuffy. You know that, right? So this is
Yeah. These dice are very Zuffy. They have decided. Yeah.
As you all are looking at her, Tempest, you look at her and you were like, I mean, maybe you seen her at a protest, maybe. I don't, not ringing any bells. Spencer, same thing. You have clocked her face when you were surveying Central Park before you came here, because obviously this is how they get you. They're like, come to the park and then you disappear. You saw lots of pictures of her like gatherings of people kind of like pointing and telling people what to do. But you weren't able to like find any records of her and things like that. Hold on a second here. You, while she is standing there, one of the ancestors actually steps forward and sort of manifests enough that you all can kind of see it with your naked eye. Um, 1 second here. And she sort of comes forward a little bit, and she walks up and stands right behind you, Selena. And it takes you guys a second because she actually looks a lot like Selena. And she just kind of puts both of her hands on your shoulders and leans down and says, "The wisdom of the Silver Fangs must always guide the Garu nation. You have a grand destiny ahead of you, child, to make all of us proud. Are you prepared to do what must be done?"
Uh, I is this what must be done? And I'll sort of gesture to the pound around me right now.
She sort of looks around and she says, "It will be glorious. Don't doubt yourself, child. That's for the commoners."
I trust in your word, of course, as you say.
And you see, she sort of like looks at all of you and she looks at Cockroach and she just smiles a little bit. Um, and looks over at the woman again and she says, "I'm Mother Larissa. I am the head of the Central Park Cairn. And by extension, I am the head bitch in these parts."
Well, did we live up to your standards? I mean, we did help you avoid a bomb, it sounds like.
I did.
She looks over at you, Tempest, and says, "You're the one they said they were gonna send to us, aren't you?"
Who?
"What do you mean, who? The Stargazers. You're the chosen one, the fated child, the beautiful angel. That's you, right? Ain't nobody else got pretty claws like that."
Yeah, it was the Stargazers and the Children of Gaia. Both.
"So let me get this straight. Fate, 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 fate. What about you, Swiss Army boy?"
No, I don't. I'm not involved. I do my own thing. I've got stuff going on in my own thing. I don't know what this fate thing is. They nobody fate. I'm not fated. um,
Cockroach just speaks up and he's like, "Yeah, the four of them are chosen. This one is a ringer. He's on my tab." And she looks at you all and she says, "All right, all right. Cockroach says, I don't get to kill you. I don't get to kill you.
oh,
But
that's
you
a
all
relief.
are going to work off your debt." And that's a good place for us to stop. So there you have it. Episode 1 of Werewolf Rage Across New York. Yes, we have very complicated characters and mechanics with very complicated backstories to try and fit in for everyone, but we will get it all in there. Basically, right about the time we kind of have it seamlessly is when we'll be done with this arc of the story. So before we wind this up here, I'm going to go in the reverse order in which you are on my screen here, and you can tell everybody who you are and where they can find you. So we will start with you, Emily.
Hi, I am Emily. You can find me on all social media stuff. Emily the Spoon. That's where you find me.
Emily the Spoon. Diana?
I'm Diana of Bard and Barbarian. You can find me on Twitter, D'Amico Diana. I know that's an Italian mouthful, so Dimicco Diana. And that's where you can find me, over on our Twitch channel and then on Twitter.
Also the Bard and the Barbarian, hashtag the Bard and the Barbarian.
Yes.
May?
Hi there. I am Melee Damage. You can find me on everything / Melee Damage.
All right. Mason, who is a smart boy who was playing a boy who doesn't brain good.
Hey everybody, my name is Mason Dooley. You can generally find me DMing here on Twitch over at WizardRex TV, and you can find us on the socials, WizardRex and WizardRex TV, pretty much everywhere. And then at Mason Dooley is my personal account. So,
Hey, and last but certainly not least, the man, the myth, the mustache, Justice.
I am Stash Mandu on most socials. I've trimmed it back, but it's growing. It's growing. And you can find me there on the socials, and you can find me here Twitch nearly 5 days, 6 days a week, sometime now. Bard and Barbarian.
Hey, and I am B. Dave Walters. I say words about things. I'm somewhere 7 days a week. I'm doing a promotion as of now through this week, since it's my 2-year Patreon anniversary. So if you want to come along and play some vampire, play some werewolf, visit patreon.com/B. Dave Walters. $15 for a one-shot. And yeah, otherwise follow me on the Twitters to find out what I'm doing. I'm somewhere all the time. It is too much to try and keep track of because I can barely do it myself. But I will say, yes, May.
I would also like to add, because I also didn't tell you where I would be. I forgot that we were doing that. I also do have a Patreon, and Dave and I run games together. We do that. That's a thing. That's a thing that we do. Yes.
That is a thing that happens. Yep. So toss me a follow at B. Dave Walters, and I am going to get out of here so you can go and watch World of Darkness news now. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.